Hello, me again. Or me for the first time if you just found me, in which case I truly apologize for what you're about to experience, which is my personality. Good luck. I just realized how much I say. Okay, so looking back on my channel, I realized that there was a pretty good variety. Also, if I'm not looking in the right place, I don't know where to look. See, I have a microphone set up, a decent camera, all that, and I'm just too lazy to set all that up. So you're getting iPhone quality, which is actually a pretty good, decent camera. It's just my setup, where in which you're literally, you as in the camera, are literally being balanced as my computer as a back holding it, and the computer sitting on top of the tissue box. Extreme effort. And I will most likely not be editing this because, to be perfectly honest, I feel like it gets worse anytime I attempt to edit something because I'm really, really bad at editing. And what just happened to my voice? Anyways, so just wanted to recap on something because I look back on one of the first videos that I had, and of course, shown some of these videos to my mother, and my mother was like, "The audio is awful. I don't like this one." She's very blunt, and I appreciate it, and I don't get offended. But she was right because the audio was really bad, and that one was titled in very aggressive capital letters, "I am autistic." But me and my autistic ass thought that that was a decent title. But honestly, I think I'm probably gonna title this "Me and My Autistic Ass" because, yeah. The only thing that bothers me about that sentence is because it's grammatically incorrect, which I think in that alone personifies the certain characteristics of my autism in my particular case. But to summarize who I am in terms of my autism and what I'm here to do is I basically want to show people a different side of autism from the point of view of someone who is autistic and has had to go through a lot. Also, I realize I look yellow. I'm having a drink of something, and literally, it look that does not look good in comparison. But anyway, so life has been kind of AWire for partly like physical health reasons, and a lot of it is mental, but sort of like whenever you got like physical issues, a lot of it translates into mental issues. So it's more like the physical came first and the mental, and so that was fun. And I missed a bunch of classes. That was not fun, but I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. I'm really looking in the wrong place. I think I'm looking like here when the camera's here. I don't know. Just, I'm bad at eye contact in real life, much less with a camera where I can't even see eyes. Pro tip for people who are autistic, look right here on a person's face, like right in between, and it seems like that you're looking at in their eyes when you're not, because I am one of those people that recognizes the problem of making eye contact, which I feel like applies to people who are just extreme introverts or just introverts in general, and it sort of feels the same way. But to move on, what I want to do with this channel, which I was kind of afraid to post on for a while because of just life issues, but I realized, you know what, it's my life. If life issues happens, oh well. Because, oh well. But the point of my channel that I wanted to do was, like I said, show a different side of autism in terms of the public opinion and what is generally the stereotypical aspect where it's just, you know, robotic and all that. I'm not, in my case in particular, there is a bit of a difference because I can often seem robotic, or I can often seem applicable to any situation when I need to. Part of it is because of the way that I've grown up, part of it is because of other things that I have. But I just want to make a point of autistic people most often are incredibly empathetic. The issue is not being able to show it. So it's things like that, simple things that are just genuine, like, stereotypes that have been, like, perpetuated throughout society, which is sad, but it's true. And for example, people come up to me and be like, "You don't look autistic." which I was even discussing this with my friend earlier. That part does not necessarily bother me because I can logistically understand why, because of the stereotypical aspects of autism. And what bothers me is when people are just like, no, you're not. And I'm like, you talked to me for about 5 minutes. Please elaborate. And I just want to be able to at least provide. If not, I doubt I'll ever have like a decent sized channel. I doubt anything. But if a single person sees this and it makes a difference in their understanding of what it's like, or an autistic person realizes, hey, okay, I'm not like that, or that's maybe the reason why, or whatever, it would make a difference to me because I don't logistically have anything to gain depending on followers, because it would take so much for me to get to the point of monetization, and I've accepted the fact that I will be poor for a very long time considering I want to go to med school. So, not my priority. And in this channel, I don't intend to just make it all of it informational videos. Most of it's just going to be like probably me talking about whatever's going on. But I think that in itself is important because then people can see the different types and different opinions. And in passing, I will talk about autism. I do a lot, and I repeat things a lot, so be prepared for that. Which, at least in my case, is a symptom of my autism, and I apologize in advance because I annoy the hell out of everyone that meets me because I repeat things 500 times. But to conclude this particular thing, or aspect of it, I just want to be able to show, I guess, whatever is a projection of myself in terms of what comes off in a camera in relation to being autistic, because I feel like I may be wrong, and I believe truly that any autistic person can get to a point where they're the best version of themselves. And I'm not saying I'm the best version of myself, far from it, but I believe that people need to understand that even the lesser best version of a person's self can be much more than people expect or believe is possible. And I want to at least show that what seems impossible can be possible, especially in terms of autism. And a side note, this whole idea of being on the spectrum pisses me off. On a point of just explaining, yeah, it makes sense to say they're high functioning, low functioning. And I think that it does apply in certain ways, but I don't think it is applied in a very productive manner, in the sense of not everything is spectrum. Like, I may seem high functioning one day, the next day I'm sitting there banging my head against the wall, acting like the quote unquote classic depiction of autism. And so it's the spectrum I believe to be a very, in my mind, controversial understanding of the topic. But I'm gonna leave that to the side because this is already 8 minutes or something. But yeah, so what I kind of want with this channel is just to be an insight into certain aspects of certain very specific parts of my life, because I'm not one to be very, very like not showing too much of myself. I'm very much, I try in the sense of it makes me more comfortable to be a private person. But at the same time, I want to be able to show that whatever I've done, a lot of the time is considered. One of the reasons people don't believe I'm autistic is because what I can do, and I want to show that no, autism doesn't automatically mean that you can't do certain things, or that you never will be able to, or that you'll, in the sense of never being able to achieve what you want, because I think that's an incredibly detrimental thing to the development of a person. This video is probably incredibly boring, but I'm going to post it anyways, because I've made a bunch of videos and I keep deleting them, but this is important to me. And again, 1, 2, 3 people, whoever it is, or the nobody that's watching me, thank you for joining in to the empty abyss that is my following. But to move on, I don't know if I should just start talking about random like shit right now, or if I shouldn't, because it seems like I just really want to put out like the point of my channel right now. So maybe I'll leave this one at that, and just gonna say, I'm here to spread awareness. I'm here to spread my personal experiences in specific manners, and I'm here to show anyone that doesn't know too much about autism, or even if they do, maybe a different side, maybe even learn something new that they didn't know from the perspective of someone that's autistic. And if someone who's autistic happens upon this, maybe some parts of it can make them realize that, just at least to hear that I personally, as an individual too, I have fought against all the discrimination. And no matter what anybody says, you're capable of far more than what is expected of you. Because, really, just like they tell everybody else, by everybody else I mean neurotypicals, for the majority of the time, not neurotypicals in every sense, but people who are autistic, like, you can do anything you put your mind to, and yet somehow that's sometimes not even a factor when it comes to being autistic. And I think that that's very sad and wrong. And let me at least say that whether you're autistic or not doesn't make a difference in your passions and the level in which you will try to achieve. Achievements and all that is often considered to be success based upon the acceptance of society, which is a natural human instinct. But when it comes to you as a person internally, don't ever doubt yourself because of what someone else says. Because at the end of the day, you need to live your life in a manner that makes you feel not successful, but also in the sense of achieving your dreams, even if it means something as simple as an internal satisfaction with your being, with who you are. And I believe one of the most amazing things is when somebody who's been put down can pick themselves back up. And people do that far more than they realize. And I'm not saying that any of the other types of issues are discounted, but I'm speaking specifically in terms of autism. When you're a person that picks yourself up, no, actually, I want to make this thing that it applies a lot to autistic people simply because of my personal experience. But this applies to anyone that's been put down. The minute you're able to pick yourself up, the minute you even have a thought of like, I don't deserve this, or even when you're going through the bad thoughts, but you have a moment of clarity, or you hear something like this, or you hear something better, or you watch a funny thing that makes you laugh, that's an achievement, no matter what anyone says. The biggest achievement you can have in life is just living, because it takes so much to survive. And that's mainly like what I want to leave it at, because this is already 13 minutes long, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I ramble a lot. Hopefully it's not too boring. Hopefully I'll release something a little bit more interesting, probably about like 0.02%. But better than nothing. I'm just very curious to see if even a single person watches this that is not like my mother. But I guess have a nice day or night or whatever. Just stay alive, because eventually it'll be worth it. Or stay alive just to prove everyone wrong. Okay, well, bye for now.